Liking this video will help this channel to grow. So please go ahead and give this video a like. By now, you should have watched section 1 for this lesson on rounding to the nearest integer. Now we move on to section 2, where we will be focusing on rounding to decimal places. Now, as mentioned before, this video is supported by practice questions and answers, which can be found in the description of this video. As always, guys, I'll ask that you like, share this video as we continue to build our community. Now, let's start by defining decimal places. Decimal places are positions of digits to the right of the decimal point. Now, rounding numbers to decimal place is shortening a decimal number to a given degree of accuracy. So therefore, we will always be told to what degree of accuracy, meaning how many decimal places is an answer expected to be given. So we're going to look at the steps that we need to take to round a number to a given number of decimal places. So below are the steps that we follow. So similar to the video that I've done before, if you have watched that video, then you would have had an idea of what to do for this as well. Same principle apply. So step 1, we identify the target place value. So we determine the decimal place that we want to round to. For example, we could be asked to round to the nearest tenth, hundredths, thousands, for example. So we would identify the target value. Second, we'd locate the digit that is next to that value, which is our target value. So we look at the digit immediately to the right of the target place value. Then we apply the rounding rule that we looked at in part 1 of our series. Now, if the digit is 5 to 9, we know we should round up. We would have seen that in that previous video as well. If it is 0 to 4, we are rounding down, which means keeping the digit as it is. And then finally, step 4, we remove all extra digits, so we discard all the digits to the right of that rounded target digit. Very easy to follow once we had watched the previous video. So we go straight into our examples. So here we're asked to round to given degree of accuracy. So here I had 1 decimal place, but I'm just going to look at 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're asked in the first example to round 7.86 to 1 decimal place. So specific here, 1 decimal place. So we first of all need to identify the digit that is in that first decimal place after the decimal point to the right. So I'm just going to rewrite this here, 7.86. So the first decimal place is 8. So I underline that. I now need to check the digit immediately beside this. This digit is 6, which means I need to round up. So therefore, I'm going to add 1 to the 8. So this answer will be 7.9. And now my answer should only have 1 digit after the decimal. So next question asks me to round 8.3769, this time to 2 decimal places. So I need to count my first 2 digits after the decimal. So 1, 2, so 7 is my digit, that's 2 decimal places after the decimal point. I now need to check on the digit exactly beside it, which is 6. So therefore, again, I'm rounding up. So the answer then, I'm going to be adding 1 to the 7, so it is 8.38. 8 to 2 decimal places. No zeros added at all. When I look at my answer, there should only be 2 digits to the right of the decimal point. And now I've rounded to 2 decimal places. So we go to the next question. We've got round negative 3.27649 to 3 decimal places. So again, after the decimal, to the right, I'm counting 1, 2, 3. 6 is in that position, but I must look at the digit after the 6, which is a 4. So I'm rounding down. So therefore, all digits from 6 will be taken away. So the answer is minus 3.276. And that is our answer. Final question here on this slide is 0.45679, but we're asked to round this to 4 decimal places. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We need now to check. So from 8 we are rounding up. So the answer will be, we're going to add 1 to 7, so it's going to be 0.4568. Make sure that we check 1, 2, 3, 4. Exactly 4 digits after the decimal. Beautiful. Okay, so for our next example, here is a list of 4 numbers. We're given 6.92, 7.27, 7.18, 7.14. We're asked to use one number from the list to complete each statement. The number closest in value to 7 is, so we want to find which number is closer in value to 7. The best way to do this is to find out how far away from 7 is each of the numbers. So if we look at 0.98, this is going to be 0.08 away. If we look at this one is 0.27 away, this one is 0.18 away, and this one is 0.14 away. So therefore, if we check here, we can see clearly that it's the first number is the smallest value between 7 and the actual number. So the answer is 6.92. Next part says the number that rounds to 7.2 to 1 decimal place. So we need to check our first digit after the decimal and then see which one will round up to 7.2. Clearly it's not the first. This one would round to 7.3, so that's not the answer. If we check on this one, I have 1 here. I need to round up to 7.2, so the answer is 7.18. So that's just another way of testing your skills of rounding your decimal. So guys, we're going to do 2 more questions and then we are going to summarize our lesson. But I just wanted to interject to remind you that after the modeling of the questions that we do together, in the description there is your worksheet for you to do your independent practice, and also how important it is for you to give the video a like. Cannot stress enough how much this helps the algorithm to share the content with other people as well. Now, with that being said, let's look at our final 2 examples. So, in this question, I've just integrated the volume of a prism, which happens to be a cuboid. So here is a cuboid. We're asked to work out the volume of the cuboid, but specifically to give our answer correct to 1 decimal place. So first of all, just to remind you, the volume of a prism is equal to, particularly this cuboid here, we need to do the area of the cross section multiplied by the length. But as it relates to the cuboid, we could just do the length times the breadth times the height. So basically, we're just multiplying all 3 dimensions together. So it's going to be 3.8 centimeters multiplied by 6.75 centimeters times by 2.7 centimeters. So we just need to put this value in our calculator. So we're going to do 3.8 times by 6.75 times by 2.7. So we're going to write the answer down first of all and then give it to the correct degree of accuracy. So the answer is 69.255, but we were told to give it to 1 decimal place. So again, 2 is in the decimal place that we desire. We now need to check the digit behind, which is 5. So by now we know we need to round up. So this will increase by 1. So it's 69.3 centimeters cube. Remember, volume is measured in cubic units. Amazing. Okay, so final question now. We're told that Emma is buying 4 bottles of juice that each cost £3 and 3.276. She pays with a £20 bill, a £20 bill. Part A asks us what is the total cost of the juice. So we need to just do 4 multiplied by the cost for 1. Again, we're going to put that in our calculator. So part A, 4 multiplied by 3.276. Just put that quickly in our calculator. So 3.276 times by 4. So we get 13.104. Now, question didn't ask us about any rounding, so we move on to part B, which asks us now to give the answer to 2 decimal places. So again, we look at the original answer. We count 1, 2, check on the 4. We must round down. So as an actual answer, it is £13 and 10 pence. Little bit more logical answer in terms of dealing with money. Last part says, how much change should Emma receive from the £20? So we're just going to do £20, take away £13, 10. Again, I'm just going to quickly put that in my calculator. Could do it mentally as well. So the answer here is £6.90. And that's our final answer. As it relates to money, we always make sure that we keep our answer in terms of pence. Okay, beautiful execution there of what the question could look like in an actual exam style question. Now guys, it's time for our key takeaways. So first of all, we talked about the fact that decimal places are positions of digits to the right of the decimal point. Now, when we are rounding decimals, we're actually shortening the decimal number to a particular given degree of accuracy. 1 dp, 2 dp, 3 dps, and so on. So, when we are rounding, first of all, we pay attention, 1, to the degree of accuracy we are asked to round to. So we must locate the place value the question asks us for. Then we check the digit to the right of that place value. We round up if we've got digits 5 or more, and round down if we've got digits that are less than 4 or less. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, this is section 2 of our 3-part lesson. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so you see when part 3 is uploaded as well. And also, please ensure that you engage with the independent practice questions that you can find in the description of the video, and also mark your work from the attached mark scheme as well. Make sure that you hit the notification bell, like, share, and if you haven't subscribed yet, guys, make sure that you do that. So, until the next section is uploaded, thank you so much for watching.